Shalom. I want to share a little word on this Parshat Terumah. It's a moments before Shabbos. Once again, time is flying, and it's a beautiful parsha. It's a parsha about constructing the Mishkan, which is the home for Hashem in the world. And the construction was done. The amazing thing about it is that it was done. All of the materials were brought by all of the people, and the people were told, bring. It's like on a volunteer basis. Bring from what you're inspired to bring, from in your heart, what you're inspired to bring. And before the whole process happened, Moshe Rabbeinu was concerned that we wouldn't have enough, to really construct the Mishkan. And people brought so much, it was more than enough. At a certain point, they had to say, it's enough. Stop, it's good enough. So that in itself is a beautiful teaching that I really love. I just want to share one other little thought. I had this little moment here before Shabbat. There are all these different materials that are brought, all the different materials that were brought. Each one, in the Midrash, it explains the meaning behind it, what it was for, what it did. And I was kind of scanning through them, and I saw that really most of them are for atonement, meaning like it's making up for something that went wrong, right? Kind of coming from like a negative place. Nothing wrong with that, but I was just noticing. For example, the gold, the zahav, that the gold was to atone for the gold which was wrongfully contributed for the building of the golden calf of the Eglah Zahav. The silver was brought to atone for Yosef, who was sold for 20 silver pieces by his brothers to Egypt, to Mitzrayim. The copper, Nechoshet, was brought to atone for the dross and impurities of their hearts. There's many more examples. And most of them really are for atonement, but as I looked through further, there are a few of them that are not for atonement, which was really interesting to me. For example, we have the Orot Elim Me Adamim, the ram's skin which is dyed red. So these were brought in order that they should merit experiencing the era following the arrival of Mashiach, in which Hashem promised to make, the Mashiach, who was alluded to in the appearing in red garments. Right, so this is in Yeshayahu. There's an example there given that these red garments, which were brought as a donation, were this inspiration, a little hint into the future when these red garments will be worn. Another one is the Orot Techashim, which I've always been really intrigued by this. There was this special animal called the Tachash, which was, it existed in the times of the Mishkan specifically for those times to be part of the building of the Mishkan, and its skin, its hair was rainbow colored. And it says that really it's a question. What is this? What is this unique animal that existed just for this time? Just one second. And it says in the Midrash that it was a unicorn with a multicolored hide, and it appeared in the wilderness so that the Bnei Yisrael would be able to use its hide for making the tapestries of the Mishkan, and then after that it disappeared. So in the future, this animal will come back, and those skins will be used to make shoes for us. So that one is also giving a hint towards the future time coming. So these materials, first of all, that they're coming from the heart, that everyone was told, come, there wasn't like a list given, you need to bring this, and you bring that, this amount, that amount. It wasn't like that at all. Every single person was told to look in their heart and see what they were inspired to bring and bring that. And all of these beautiful, tapestries and gold and silver were brought to make this beautiful home for Hashem. So I thought that was really beautiful, and I wanted to share it, and share one other little tiny thought, that the wood that was used is called the Atzei Shittim, cedar wood. The cedar wood is a wood that in Yeshayahu there's a prophecy that in the future, the desert would become fruitful, growing these shittim trees. So they're not fruit trees. Specifically, they're not fruit trees, cedar trees. And they're specifically selected to be used for the building of the Mishkan. These trees which don't bear fruit, because this can serve as an example for people who could see, oh, if the creator of the world would want wood that is not from a fruit tree to be used to build his home, to build his mishkan in the world, so we shouldn't either. We shouldn't use fruit trees to build to build at all. And I think it's a really beautiful message. What does it mean, really? So we have a fruit tree. A fruit tree is not just any tree. It's a tree that is alive and producing life. It's producing fruit. It's producing food. And this is specifically different than a tree that doesn't produce food. And this is just giving us a little tiny hint at the subtleties of refinement, of spiritual refinement that come through with all these little details that we get. Sometimes I wonder, why are there so many details? Why are we getting into so many details? But when you start to look at it, you see actually every single detail is really giving another nuance, another detail into how we can go towards this spiritual refinement. So a few little examples from this parsha. I hope everyone has a most beautiful, peaceful Shabbos, and we should see the coming of Mashiach and redemption for everyone. Peace on earth, and refuah shalema, big healing coming to the world soon. Shalom.